devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. With Tony Marinaro.
55 seconds left in the penalty, a minute and 27 seconds left in regulation time. Boston 4, Montreal 3. Lafleur coming out rather gingerly on the right side. He gives it into Lemaire, back to Lafleur. Oh!
The sickest Montreal Canadiens podcast.
You're in the ball!
Sports entertainment like no other.
Rejoint, on lui fait perdre la rondelle, une passe devant. Et c'est le dégagement et ce sera la victoire des Canadiens. Coupe Stanley pour les Canadiens. Le 23e de l'histoire.
You found the dogs! John, you found the dogs! He found the dogs! And all together, they worked a young team to the top. And now, a 24th Stanley Cup banner will hang from the rafters of the famous Forum in Montreal. The Canadiens win the Stanley Cup.
Brought to you by Energy Transportation Group. Driven to be different. Tibi. Embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination. It's gonna be sick.
Marinaro, I don't remember when was the last time I was on the air before 10 o'clock, but technically I think it is 9:59 p.m. Eastern. So we're probably about 30 seconds early tonight. But it's okay. We'll take all the time we can get because I think it might be an abbreviated show with Brian Wilde, but I think we'll go for a good 30 minutes. Brian Wilde of Global TV Montreal will join us. So without further ado, why don't I bring him in? Because Eric Engels of Sportsnet, who's a regular collaborator on Mondays, by the way, was all of last year and all of the year before, and he will be all of the upcoming season as well. Well, Eric joined us a couple of days ago, but Eric had a chance to catch up with Montreal Canadiens general manager Kent Hughes at the GM meetings, which are taking place over the next couple of days, actually today and yesterday, as a matter of fact. And so he not only caught up with Kent Hughes, but he said, "Hey, Kent, do you have a little bit of time?" "Yeah, all right. Okay, can I ask you a couple of questions?" "No problem." And let's put an article out there for Sportsnet, which is what he did. So there's many topics that come out of that conversation in that article, which we're going to tackle. So I bring in Brian Wilde. Brian, how are you?
Yeah, very well. I actually texted back and forth with Eric a lot as he was coming back from Detroit today. He was very happy with how that interview went. He thought that Kent was really forthcoming. He got a good 20 minutes with him before he had to come back to Montreal because it's coming. I mean, finally, the excitement is here, Tony. The season is just around the corner. And you can really feel it with that interview that Kent Hughes is really excited that this season is coming soon and the aspirations for this club are so high.
And by the way, I saw images of Kirby Dach training earlier this morning in Brossard. And you know what? He looks like, and look, it's just images, but if some were concerned 3 weeks ago, and some were probably even concerned a couple of weeks ago, it appeared to be less concerning today. He looked a lot better today and moved a lot better based on some of the video footage that I saw. That is, I was not there live, so take it for what it's worth. But based on the people that were there, it looked like he started to get more and more comfortable. Isn't that good news for the Montreal Canadiens? But, you know, Kent Hughes, once again, he talked about his team, and you're right. He's very encouraged by what he sees. And, you know, he makes a lot of sense, eh?
Yeah.
When he talks, he just makes a lot of sense. He is, and I've said this before, I think he's with all due respect to the others, I think he's the brightest general manager the Montreal Canadiens have had since Serge Savard. And, you know, I'm not going to say more so than Serge because Serge won 2 Stanley Cups, of course, in 86 and 93. But Kent has, I think, the ability, the knowledge, the know-how, the team around them, and the potential to be one of Montreal Canadiens' better general managers in a long, long time.
And you know what, too? He understands it's 2025. Like, he gets a really good sense of what a young man expects from his professional career now. Like, gone are the days where Michel Therrien would be yelling at them and calling them down. And I mean, everybody's heard the stories from Daniel Briere, you know, and how the treatment was. This is a totally different world. He and Martin St. Louis are a part of a new breed that understand that respect is a part of the equation. And without it, the players will not perform for you at their absolute peak. He understands how to get the most of the players, even from a general manager's role. Like, those year-end interviews, you can tell that they are done with purpose. One of the quotes that we're going to feature is the Patrik Laine quote. And you can tell that interview that Kent did with Patrik Laine motivated him to be the best he could possibly be and focused him on what he needed to work at. So,
All
I
right.
mean, I'm just so impressed with him.
Yeah, so I'll see the quotes that we do have with Patrik Laine. There's a couple that we have prepared, but I know what you're referring to, and if we don't have it, I'll actually bring it up as well. So
Okay.
Shane Gaumont and Master Control, if you can bring up part 1 of Kent Hughes on Patrik Laine. Patrick's an incredibly skilled and talented hockey player. We've all seen that from him in conversations I had with him in exit meetings. And then again, I don't remember if it was late May or early June. I said to him, hey, let's think about the areas of your game that you need to improve for you to play more regularly. Quote unquote translation. The coach didn't quite trust your game, and we as a management team didn't quite trust your game to put you in all situations. So you were on the power play. We gave you a lot of offensive zone time, but you weren't a player that we can use in defensive zone faceoffs. You weren't a player that we can use in the penalty kill. You weren't a player that we could use if we were up a goal, late in a game. And, that's my translation. What's yours?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, when you look at what Laine didn't have in his game last year, he did not process the game fast enough. He had it on his stick in the neutral zone too long, and players closed in on him, and then he wasn't making the play that was relatively simple if he would have done the play quicker. And I think that's what Hughes is talking about. I had heard that was part of the equation for Patrik Laine. They wanted him to process the game faster, not just that defensive aspect of the game, but all over the ice, process it faster so you can make the play with more authority and then be a part of the overall equation for the team instead of that limited equation. But again, what I really loved in that quote that we just heard, Tony, was him focusing his player as the general manager. Like, you don't hear that as much. You hear the coach focusing, but the general manager just speaking from that high place that matters so much. And making such a difference in those exit meetings. I love the quotes out of those exit meetings, no matter who the player is.
Yeah. There's another thing that I can throw in there too, is that we need, besides everything else I just said, if your game is better, you're going to log more minutes than you logged. Because, if Patrik Laine is at his best, he can be the forward that probably has the most time on ice, or second or third. And he didn't finish first, second, or third all that often. I don't know if he did at all, type of thing. So I think Kent Hughes makes a lot of sense. And I think it's encouraging for Patrik Laine to hear that, saying, hey, you know what? These guys want me to get more ice time. These guys want me to be a bigger part of the team. So now let me work on what they're telling me to work on. And let's see if I can do it.
And he's shown a hunger. His offseason has been very hungry. He's been on the ice a lot. He's not resting on his laurels or taking an attitude like, hey, I'm Patrik Laine. I've been doing this a long time. I don't need to work on this kind of stuff. He's being humble. And it's hard for a guy of his stature, a high draft pick, hero in Finland, big seasons already in Winnipeg. It's hard for a guy to sit there and say, okay, I'm at this age in my career and I got to listen to people talking to me like that. You got to humble yourself. And a lot of guys don't have the ability to do that. And it's very clear from his attitude in this summer that Patrik Laine has humbled himself and he's ready to learn and he's going to come to camp in shape. And that could make all the difference in the world to not only him, but the second line as well.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to, and yes, for those who are in the chat, yes, we are live. It is the Sick Podcast. We are live with Brian Wilde. And, I'm going to say this, is that, look, I've thought that for years now, Patrik Laine is a blue line in hockey player. Okay.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's a lot of lethal goal scorers in the National Hockey League that are blue line in hockey players. And if they give you more than they concede, then they're all worth their while. Right. At times in the past, he gets lazy, or you start to see a lack of consistency in his game. But I, too, am very encouraged by what I see, that he stuck around Montreal quite a bit, and he was on the ice quite a bit. He did play in the 3v3 league every now and then. He's been in Brossard on the ice every now and then. He's starting to find chemistry, you see, with Demidov. And, at one point, I wondered if he was going to be able to buy into the culture. And there's a great piece on the Rebuild, the documentary of the Canadiens, where Kent Hughes gives Nick Suzuki a call and says, hey, look, I have the opportunity to acquire this guy. How do you think he would fit into the room? And Nick Suzuki said he'll fit in great, and we know he's a good player, and hopefully we can get him back to that level. And so it just shows you that the players believe that, you know what, he could be part of the culture. Because at one point, Brian, I asked myself whether or not he could be. And I'm going to say this, based on what I saw in the offseason, based on what we're hearing, based on the shape that he seems to be in, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that I think that, he's poised to have a real good start to the season. I'd be willing to bet on that.
Yeah, and it's hard for a player to improve their standing in the community and their standing amongst the team and in the city and with management of not having played a game. You know what I mean? It's hard to, augment the feelings everybody has about you as a player when you actually haven't been on the ice. But he somehow managed to do that this summer, because I think people thought that the attitude might be bad. It didn't finish at the end really well for him in terms of ice time, but he managed to reset everything in his favor. That's not easy to do, and he did it. And Kent Hughes has helped him, and he helped them today with the quotes that Eric Engels got in terms of really saying, we're behind you. We back you. We're putting a lot of money into you this season, and we have expectations, and this is what you got to work on. And he's already started doing that. So to improve your standing when you haven't actually played another NHL game from the last couple that you did which weren't great. That's pretty impressive.
The Sick Podcast brought to you in part by Souvlaki Authentique. Montreal knows good food, but nothing hits like Souvlaki Authentique. Now, by the way, in Kirkland as well. Every stick of Souvlaki is marinated fresh. Every pita is packed with flavor, and the potatoes twice fried and finished with that signature lemon sauce. My buddy Silvio called me the other day, and we brought up Souvlaki Authentique, and he says, Tony, I think that they may have the best potatoes in the city. And I said, Silvio, it's hard to argue that. It's comfort food. It's Greek style. It's family run. It's flavor packed, and it's proud to serve Montreal. Go to souvlakiauthentique.com to find your nearest location and bring the taste of Greece home to you. The Sick Podcast is also brought to you in part by Bittt Tibi. They launched their new Ultra Lager, refreshing, thirst-quenching beer, perfect for the summer with only 90 calories, 2 grams of carbs, 4% ABV per can, available in packs of 6 and 12 in grocery stores all around the province of Quebec. Ultra light and ultra refreshing. And Brian, I also want to give a mention to Playground, which, by the way, I went there yesterday with the family.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yes.
Was it all you can eat something?
Yesterday was Asian for $25.
Yes,
it was amazing.
all you can eat.
Yeah,
right?
but you know what? It was a real good night of virtual blackjack for me. It really was. It was a productive night.
So you only lost 400 to 500?
I actually made 420.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's a pretty good night. That'd be the best night of my gambling career, which is like 4 nights of $4 bets.
Actually, I'm happy to say for the second week in a row. But anyway,
wow.
Everyone always tells you when they win, Brian. They don't tell you when they lose. But winning Wednesday
this is very true.
The ultimate midweek experience for players age 50 and up like me. Start your day. Listen to this, Brian. $5 breakfast as of 7 a.m. on Wednesdays. It's unbelievable. Take your shot at winning your age in cash with hourly draws until 3 p.m. Don't forget to claim your free play, available until 10 p.m. Wednesdays were made for winning only at Playground. All right. Okay. So let's get to the second part of Kent Hughes on Patrik Laine. One thing in hockey is the game is so instinctive, says Hughes. I think because of the speed of hockey and the systems within it, a lot just becomes instinctive, which makes it harder to make changes. And that was my purpose in speaking to Patrik. It was to tell him, don't wait until October when you're in games and have to rely on instinct. Start now in summer hockey, in development. Every time you step on the ice, be focused on it. Ask Adam Nicholas, that is, to talk to you about it and get him to give you the repetition of doing it right to make these adjustments stick so that you become more conscious of when you're doing it wrong.
What do you think he's speaking of there?
One thing in hockey is the game so instinctive. I think it's because of the speed of hockey and the systems within it.
What instinct does he want to change there? I think it's the one I mentioned. How fast he processes. Get rid of the puck, get the puck up ice. It's a fast-moving hockey team.
Well, you know what? It's good to say, move the puck. I think in a nutshell, it's move the puck and then move your feet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
that's an Adam thing, right?
Yes. And
he's saying go to Adam. So what does Adam work on?
Yes.
Yeah.
On skill development, obviously, and a lot of those things, and on reading the game and everything. But Patrik Laine becomes easy to contain when he doesn't move his feet and he's static, and then the shot becomes predictable.
Right.
Like, I'm going to give you an example. Like the Tampa Bay Lightning and Steven Stamkos, when he used to be there, you know what? Yeah, he had his office, but he and those guys would move their feet a lot. They wouldn't be static. They move around, and it makes them less predictable. And I think it would be move the puck and move your feet is probably the message to him. But hey, you know what? He knows. But once again, you can tell it's a general manager that is very intellectual, eh? Like like Kent Hughes is a GM who works like a GM, but has the ability to think like a coach.
Yeah.
You know, Lou Lamoriello could do that, right?
Yeah.
Glenn Sather could do that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of GMs that have that ability, Brian.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, 100%.
Like, you can tell Kent has coached before.
Yeah.
And if you're going to say he didn't coach at a very high level, well, he probably coached at the same level as the coach of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes. But and also it's obviously very interesting that he came from the other side of the business, the aging business. And I said in the past that I think that the future of GMing is to have, not just in your organization, hockey guys, but also money guys. Like, you got to be smart at the finances of this. You can't just let the cap situation get away from you because you're not planning ahead. And you don't have an understanding of where the cap is going and when is the time to lock a guy in for as long as you can to get best value from him. That's a money argument. And I've seen GMs that are really lousy at the money half and good at the hockey eval half, but you can also share the hockey eval half and then let him take the money half and the hockey eval half with his crew. And I think you get the best from everyone that way.
Marc Bergevin had a very, very good eye for hockey. He had a scout's eye for hockey. He knew the game, obviously, and he knew how to add pieces to his team.
Right.
I think he struggled from a communication standpoint.
100%. I mean, when
a player management standpoint, and some contracts, I think. But you know what? You got to give it to him, because the one for the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, you got it right.
Yeah. we don't want to crap on him all over the place. He got a lot right. I mean, his tenure wasn't horrific by any stretch of the imagination, but he was weaker in the one area. Like Kent does an amazing job of always elevating his players, finding the good that they have, and then when he speaks of the improvements that he was like, it always sounds so eloquent. It doesn't even sound like criticism to me. It does so well.
I'll tell you what the difference is in a nutshell in the end between Bergevin and Hughes. And look, I don't know if Marc Bergevin was given the benefit of the doubt to actually do a rebuild. Okay, so I want to preface it by saying that it's
he wasn't allowed to use the word. Tony.
It's easier to accomplish what Kent is going to try to accomplish, having done a rebuild and given the green light to do a rebuild, than Bergevin. But Bergevin, his tenure, it was like this, right? 1 year good, 1 year bad, 1 year good. Okay, blah, 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 they got a little bit better, blah, blah, blah. Then they went to the Stanley Cup final. And then after the final, boom, they collapsed. They became the worst team in hockey.
Yeah.
Hughes started as the worst team in hockey, fifth worst team in hockey, fifth worst team in hockey. And now it's going up, 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 up. And it has the potential to stay up and improve and progress for at least a decade. And if you think that that's not the case, I'll point out to you the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
That from 2011 to 2024 were extremely competitive and went to 3 Stanley Cup finals and won a Stanley Cup. That the Pittsburgh Penguins were extremely competitive for 12, 13 years and won 3 Stanley Cups. And that the Chicago Blackhawks were able to do it as well. It can be done. The Canadiens can be very, very good for 10 plus years. It's been done before, and I think you can do it again. And with the core of the team being anywhere between 19 to 25, very encouraging. Speaking of which, speaking of 19-year-olds, Ivan Demidov. Kent Hughes was asked about his impressions of Demidov, and Demidov's work ethic blows him away. Let's bring up the quote. Demidov's been doing 2-a-day sessions in Brossard 5 days a week all summer, says Eric Engels in his article on sportsnet.ca. The mere mention of his name lights up Hughes' face on Tuesday. Incredible work ethic, the GM said. Stubborn, which is great, and he's a great kid. He's always smiling. He loves the game. He's obsessed with getting better. We'll see what he can do. I think he's going to be a very, very good hockey player for the Montreal Canadiens for a long time, but we're not putting all that hope on him in October of 2025. Once again, without saying it, I think this kid's going to be a superstar, but you know what? Let's not put all the pressure on him this year, but I expect him to be a franchise player. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking when I read all of that? Because you can tell he's trying to temper it a little bit. Like, don't expect, Guy Lafleur in the first 5 games here. But when he says that, I read through that he knows that the excitement level for this guy is just going to be so sky high that he has no way to temper it. He has no way to tamp it down. It's going to be what it is, and it's going to be exciting. And Kent knows it too. You know, the way Eric said it, the mere mention lights up his face. And look at our faces.
Yes.
With the mere
But
mention.
you know what else? And like, if, I'd love to have the conversation, but I would imagine that I'd be willing to bet that he says, hey, you know what? We expect him to be a very, very good player for a very, very long time, but don't expect him to be that in October of 2025. But I'm willing to bet that he'd probably also add, but if he is, I wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly
right?
That. Exactly. And the thing that we learned this summer, Tony, I mean, obviously, like, when we see him in Russia where he was, and of course he had all of the difficulties getting the ice time because of all of the politics that goes into all of what it means to play in the KHL. And so you didn't really get a sense, because you're not close enough to know, does he love the game? Does he live and breathe the game? Is he Laine Hudson? And the answer is yes. Like, not only do you have an outstanding hockey player who's got mad skills with the puck, you've got a guy who wants to be a world beater. And when you bring that attitude, the guy's on the ice as much as Laine Hudson, which I didn't think was possible. There's some footage from today where he and Laine are trying to beat each other one-on-one. And it's just kind of like magic to watch it. And you're like, these are Montreal Canadiens hockey players, these two guys with this skill set. It's really exciting. And to know he loves hockey, like he loves hockey and is desperate to learn is, wow, what a bonus. What a bonus.
Yeah. Tetra Boom says, you don't rebuild when your star goaltender recently won the Vezina, the Hart Trophy, and the Tenzi Award. Well, hold on a second. When Marc Bergevin took over, right? And he took over May 2nd, 2012, I believe. Okay. I could be wrong. The Canadiens had the 3rd pick in the draft. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they drafted Alex Galchenyuk. It's a draft that took place in Pittsburgh, correct?
Yeah, tough draft.
Well,
very hard to predict that one. Yeah, Bob went 1.
The Canadiens at the time had the 3rd worst team in hockey. So you could have gone through a rebuild. Yes, they had Carey Price, and yes, they had Subban and Pacioretty, and yes, it would have been difficult. But they had the 3rd pick in the draft. They could have chosen to do a rebuild if they wanted to. But I would think the ownership at the time was not ready to do it. And once they had 10 years of Bergevin and they had a chance to see what else was going on around the league, the ownership was open to it, and that's why Jeff Molson went out and he went to hire Jeff Gordon, who had done a rebuild with the New York Rangers. And Jeff Molson, I think, liked what he was seeing from the Rangers and said, you know what, if I'm going to do a rebuild, I'm going to get a guy who knows how to do it and who's done it before. And that's what he did. And then Jeff Gordon was an amazing hire by Jeff Molson. It was a brilliant hire by him. It was a brilliant hire.
Absolutely. And I think the thing that doesn't get said enough is in those 2 hirings, you have 2 gentlemen that are able to work with each other, and they don't have petty squabbles about who's got the most power at any given moment. They're 2 men among men. And when you're kind of creating a hierarchy like that, it can go wrong if somebody's got a super ego. And both of them, you can see even at the news conferences when they default to each other. Do you want to take this one? Do you want to take? There's just an incredible amount of respect between them, and it's a real team. in the front office, and in that way they created that hierarchy. It would have been easy for them to be competitive with each other and butt heads, but they don't. They help each other, they support each other to get the best for the Montreal Canadiens.
Well said, Brian. Okay. And hey, by the way, did you see the logo on the ice?
I did. I saw it.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's going to be wild. That's some pretty bright red.
That is some pretty bright red, and it's going to be. I think it's pretty cool, actually. That's
I love it.
For those who are going to be listening to this and not watching. Obviously, you're not seeing the picture that we're putting up, but there was a picture that made its way on social media earlier today of a new Montreal Canadiens logo that's going to be at center ice of the Bell Center, and it's pretty nice. You know what? I think we're used to the Canadiens logo because it's the logo, obviously, of our hometown team. And, it's been around for the longest time, but the Montreal Canadiens logo is really, really beautiful. The truth. I think so anyway.
Oh, absolutely. I think the
Canadiens red jersey is fantastic.
And I hope that they use that kind of, like, I don't know, just as my tendency to something I really like, guys. I really like that circular look that they really haven't, taken advantage of, like a circle logo like that.
Yeah.
But that looks beautiful to build it around that way. Canadiens in Montreal like that.
Yeah.
And have it circular like that with 1909, the first year of the franchise. That's just beautifully done. Yeah.
It really
I'm
is.
looking forward to seeing it.
Hey, we have a concert to announce. Shane Gaumont and Master Control, if you can bring it up. It's going to be on the 18th of September, and it's going to be the Esterior Brothers that are coming. Pardon me, the 16th of September. I'm sorry. The 16th of September. The Esterior Brothers are coming to Place des Arts at 8 p.m. I think I said the 18th on another occasion. I'm sorry. You scratch that. It's the 16th, all right? Don't show up on the 18th. Show up on the 16th. And you can scan the QR code to check it out. It's four brothers. They put on an amazing show. They're coming. They've been to Montreal before, now in a bigger venue, and you can pick up your tickets at viveavanti.com or scan the QR code, of course. And it is, once again, the Esteriori Brothers. All right. Okay. In it, once again, I said it was going to be an abbreviated show tonight. By the way, we almost did not get on the air because Shane Gaumont is a Master Control. And in the area that he lives, I think he lives in Coteau-du-Lac, if memory serves me well. And there was a power outage, and he actually got Agnello and Sammy weren't available tonight. So Shane was our only hope, and he actually got his power back at 9:36 p.m. or something like that. Anyway, so long story short,
because you've been on consecutively how many nights now?
We were sweating it. I have to tell you,
we
were sweating.
Yeah, the streak almost was broken.
The streak was almost broken, but then again, you know what? I think we all got to get a generator. That would be a pretty good idea. All right, okay.
Oh, that's pretty expensive, a generator. Those are not free.
Yeah,
they don't hand those out for cheap amounts.
No, I understand, but it would be a great opportunity for a company that sells generators to advertise on the Sick Podcast.
There you go. You're always thinking.
And then everybody's happy. Listen. So we got some great quotes on Demidov, and we got some great quotes on Patrik Laine.
Yeah.
And most people expect to see them starting the season together on the same line. So now the big question is if it's going to work. Will it work? And we know that Demidov has the ability to drive the line maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
Is it putting too much pressure on him right away at his very young age to be able to ask him to drive the line right away?
Well, the turnkey is the centerman. Right? Like from the second line center position last year, they accumulated between everybody who tried it a minus 55. So that's a big number of minuses.
It's a big number.
That's a giant number, right? So it all comes down to if that centerman throughout the course of the year, whether it's Doc or whether it's Newhook or wherever else they plugged in there from time to time, if that number is not minus 55, but minus 5, minus 10, well, obviously the Montreal Canadiens are a way better hockey team because that was a black hole of plus minus. And so a lot's relying on Kirby Doc.
Yeah.
So we'll see where he is. And you said he looked good this morning. And he does look healthier than I thought he was when they said he might not be ready October 10. It just turned into September and he's skating pretty well. So how much repair does he need in the next 6 weeks?
He appears to be in better shape than he was a year ago. But once again, we'll find out at the fitness test and stuff like that. The Montreal Canadiens golf tournament is on the 15th of September. First day of camp, pro camp, will be on the 17th of September.
Nice.
And the Sick Podcast is brought to you in part by Energy Transportation Group, a leading full-service logistics provider serving all North America, driven to be different. They're a top fleet employer in Canada. All right, okay. So I think we got to, by the way, I encourage everyone to go read Eric's article. Hey, Brian, it's really, really good. There's Eric, a lot more material that we didn't get to because to be totally honest with you, we're going to save some of it. Okay, because you know what? He went in depth to talk about Nick Suzuki. There's a quote from John Cooper talking about Nick Suzuki, of course, was at the Canada Olympics 2026 orientation camp. So there was that. There was a quote on Suzuki's leadership. There were quotes from Kent Hughes talking about the team and the fact that, you know what, his message to the team has really been to try to be leaders as young as possible and take control of the situation and try and work together. You could really tell that they want the young players, Brian, to step up and they really want to preach a team concept with this group. And
good quote on Noah Dobson as well. Like, it's a great article. Yeah.
You know what I really love? I think it's amazing. I don't remember when was the last time so many players were at Brossard together. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
Before the start of camp. It's almost like they all got together and said, hey, listen, we need a head start on camp because we had a bad preseason last year. We had a bad first month and a half of the season. We can't waste any time. Let's get a head start on things. The way he gave Patrik Laine that message to get a head start on things, it almost seems like he told everybody the same thing.
Yeah, it resonated through completely because that's a lot of support they're getting in Brossard already. Like, it's, you know, I was like, what date is it?
Yeah.
That many there already? Wow. Yeah.
Brian was a late addition tonight, and I thank him for stepping up. So he kind of moved his schedule around, and so we're going to go with a 30-minute show. But we have so much more material over the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks, and Brian's going to be a part of it. Brian, thanks for your time tonight, my man. I appreciate it.
Always. Thanks for asking me. Cheers.
Brian Wilde of Global TV Montreal. I'll be asking you again, Brian. Thank you very much for that. All right, okay. There you have Brian. Ale Tony, have you seen it making the rounds on social media? Well, I'm getting a lot of support from a lot of people, so I can tell you that there will be a very big announcement 1 week from today on Wednesday, September 10th at 10 a.m. So we're going to make a very, very big announcement, which is very, very big for Sick Media and very, very big for the Sick Podcast. So we look forward to that. And that's going to be the first of many big announcements, because if all goes well here in the next month or so, we're going to have several really nice announcements for you. Very, very exciting news for our podcast and, of course, for our company. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Very much appreciated. Shane Gaumont on Master Control. I'm glad your power came back in Coteau du Lac. And thanks, everyone, for being there in big numbers right now on the YouTube, on the Facebook, and on the Twitter. And I see all of the chats that are coming in. Close to 1,000 people watching live on YouTube, which is pretty cool. So thank you very much again. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. It's the Sick Podcast. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Talk to you tomorrow.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Tony Marinaro on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts. The Sick Podcast is brought to you by Energy Transportation Group, driven to be different. LaBita.tb, embrace your true nature. And Playground, your premier gaming destination.